night for the thoughts on how they performed tonight.
Yeah, no, they played really well. Absolutely, they were good. They were our best line tonight. They created a lot of scoring chances. I thought they played hard on the forecheck. Created some, obviously the goal. I'm not sure if it was the first, second one in this or in the second period. It was the first goal. How they got in there and led to the Fogle goal. I thought all night they were our best line and they created a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it's another come-from-behind victory tonight. Obviously, you don't want to make that a trend going down. But
Well, it has been a trend. We've been down 2-0 quite a bit. I think our last 4 games before this, 5 now, that we've been trailing. This game, we weren't trailing in the third period, but the previous 4, we were trailing in the third period. And it's made it hard for us, but they've stuck with it and persevered and got the wins. But it's definitely not something we like to do.
Kris, Warren Fogle talked about how it was something obviously you mentioned we want a better start. And the thing was, your starts have actually been pretty good up until late anyway in the first period. Is there anything that you've seen that can connect you each game to what's lacking early in games?
I don't see anything. I think each time it's been a little bit different. I think we've been a little unfortunate on the goal scoring. I think there's been times when we should have scored some goals and we just didn't capitalize. Tonight, there was just one area I didn't like in the first period. I thought we did a lot of good things. We broke out. We were good in the defensive zone. The only thing was on our line rush. They've got a lot of speed, got behind us. We weren't quite ready for that. Other than that one little aspect of the game, and it's a really big aspect of the game, we fell behind. But, you know, we addressed that, and our defense got a little bit better at that. And, yeah, we don't want to fall behind, and we'll try and address our starts.
You talked about the Kane line with Draisaitl and Fogle. We asked him what's working on the line, and he said, I'm getting opportunity. What did you sense from this player who maybe had to be a little bit patient playing in a different part of the lineup? And, you know, what are you seeing from him now that he's gotten that opportunity?
He's been playing really well. Last couple of games, a lot more pace to his game, been making plays, been hard on the forecheck, finishing checks. And, you know, and also playing Leon absolutely helps. And he's been making the most of it the last couple of games. And that's a line that we'd like to keep together. We'd like to keep them as long as it's working. Right now, we're going to keep that as long as we can.
Kris, you have a 12-game winning streak, and you know I think it's tied for the longest ever by a Canadian franchise with Montreal way back in the 60s. Are things like that, can they be motivating factors when you're in a streak like this to keep it going? How do you approach that? Or do you try not to mention the streak?
We don't talk about the streak very much, or if at all. I'm not sure what they talk about when I leave the room, but I don't think they do. I think we talk about, or we look at, or we think about is where we are in the standings. We lose a few games, we're out of the playoff picture. We win a few more games, maybe we've looking at home ice advantage. That's what we're focused on right now. Just trying to climb the standings as much as we can.
So can I just ask you to expand on that? Are you a guy that really focuses on the standings, you know, day to day? Are you starting to sense that you're kind of climbing your way up?
I think we know that we've got some room, some cushion. Before we absolutely had none. But, you know, I like that we're just taking every game one at a time. You know, we don't have to win them all. We just want to win the next one. You know, famous quote. But it's, yeah, we're not watching the standings. But obviously we all know what's going on and where we are. But we don't want to be looking at the scoreboard, looking at who won tonight and who lost, and did we make up 2 points or did we lose? All that stuff. We just want to win as many games as possible because we know how important they are.
Kris, what did you think of the Gord hit on Ekholm late in the third?
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. Obviously, there's some animosity between Connor and him off the face-off, and then it leads to that. So I'm not sure. I didn't see it, so I shouldn't be commenting.
Kris, it's 10 straight games where you've only allowed 2 or fewer goals. Ties a franchise record, but this was a team for the longest time that wanted to become more consistent defensively. The offense kind of has taken care of itself with the skill that you have. What have you seen overall? Even when you have a tough start, you don't let anything else go in after the fact. What is it about your defensive game right now that's impressed you?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with penalty kill. You look tonight, we scored 2 even strength goals, but we also scored 2 power play goals. And, you know, you do that, you're more likely winning each night. And tonight, we gave up 2 even strength goals, which is probably about average each night, but we didn't give up any power plays or their power plays. And so a lot of things are going well. 5-on-5, we're checking well, we're giving up some chances, and when we do, goaltending's been great. And mostly that's been on Skinner, but also picks when he's played. But I think just everyone buying in and doing their job, and there are breakdowns, absolutely. We're not going to play a perfect game ever. And whether that's forwards making a turnover or a defenseman missing a check or something like that, but I think we've done a good job of limiting those mistakes and everyone just doing their job.
Kris, maybe in your mind, if you go back to maybe the beginning of November, and if someone walked up to you and said, you're going to be an NHL head coach in a couple of weeks, and then in those first couple of months on the job, you're going to go on an 8-game win streak, and then you're going to take a game on a 12-game win streak, what would you have said to them?
Just that they were crazy that I'd be getting the opportunity mid-season as it is. And everything after that would be just absolute nonsense. But just that first part of me being a head coach mid-season in the situation and being able to come to an organization like this is just unfathomable.
Hey, Kris, you've had some offside calls go not in your favor. What compelled you to make that coach's challenge for that eventually called back goal tonight?
Recommendation from our video coach, Noah, and Mike back there. They look at that. They're the ones that recommend doing it or not. Ultimately, I make the last decision, but they're the one who picked it up. They gave me the advice. I just followed my orders. So I don't get any credit on that. That was absolutely all the video staff.